Hey, everybody, happy Friday. Hope you're enjoying your Friday, getting ready for the weekend. Get out there and enjoy the weather today. I heard we're going to get some rain tomorrow, but it's supposed to be nice on Sunday. So that'll be great news. But speaking of great news, markets bounced back nicely this week, followed by a really sharp sell off on Monday, over 1,000 points down. Tuesday, it bounced up 1,100 points. Wednesday and Thursday, 500 plus each day. It's down a little bit, 100 so points today, but Dow's going to finish right under 40,000, which is about 500 points above where it was in the beginning of the month, the first Friday of April. Just give us a little context. So we're bouncing back. It's nice. It seems the posturing kind of settled down a little bit. And, hopefully we're going to get some of this stuff ironed out. But look, volatility is here to stay. I know you're used to me saying that, but I expect it here for the next 60 to 90 days at least. We'll see what happens with interest rates, the reports on inflation, and obviously the tariffs are going to play a big part in terms of the volatility. So hang in there on that. The 10-year Treasury is down about 4.26. Beginning of the month, it was 4.5. So that's come down a little bit. And the volatility index, the VIX, which measure all kinds of volatility and has been off the charts lately, is down. Yeah, I said down to 25, which is usually twice as high as what we usually are for the week. But it's down this week compared to 40 and 35 and 50 of what we've seen in the past couple of weeks. So, just want to let people know that, hey, it's bouncing back. We know the market's a long-term play. We know we're not all exposed to the market. And we know, from, the event that we had at Cedar Street last night at Ray's Restaurant, we set a new record for a happy hour. We had 80 folks there, 80 of our individuals and select families were there last night. We had some folks from a tax class that we're now teaching. And with our staff, we were right at 100 people at the event last night, which is, a new record for our happy hour. But it's always great seeing Alex and how he talks about the alternatives and his partners, Guggenheim and UBS and the Bright Group and all the family offices, the institutional money, the Wells Fargos, the Morgan Stanleys, all these guys that he works with and has access to, and how we get a more direct access to them, which allows us to keep more money in our pockets because he allows us to share in the GP, right? The general partner promote, which is usually an extra 20 to 30% on the deal. We get to participate in that without any of the additional GP liability. So that's huge. I had one of our clients, David April, sent me, a thing from Fox. Fox News came out yesterday and said, hey, U.S. expanding and private equity expanding into energy, oil and gas. Yeah, we've known that. We're on top of that. They're talking about oil and gas in the Permian Basin. Yes, we're talking about that. But one of the things it went on to say is that it's not open to everybody. It's only open to accredited investors. And so accredited investors are people that have $1 million net worth, excluding their primary home, income of $200,000 or more for an individual, $300,000 for a married couple. But when you qualify, or if you have the security Series 7 or 65 or 62, you qualify as an accredited investor. And what that does is it opens up a whole new world in terms of strategies that you're able to utilize. And most of these strategies in the accredited investor space have tax benefits attached to them. And it can be in real estate, it can be in energy and gas, it can be in medical. So there's all types of benefits. We talked a lot about that at the event last night. But I just want people to know that, hey, we're on the right track. These are things we've been talking about. And it's just very interesting in the last few weeks. Fox News comes out with, going into energy as another sector to invest in. And 2 weeks ago, BlackRock, the largest institutional money manager on the planet, says, hey, you should have 20% of your assets into alternative investments. And Fidelity recently said, hey, the 60-40 model's broke. You should have some alternative investments and things that aren't correlated in the market. Why do I share all that stuff? I share that because it's important to hear and to know that a lot of the stuff is outdated. And we've been talking about this for 5 years. And this, some of these big guys are just getting around to having a discussion on this now. And this recent week, Christine Benz, who's with Morningstar, comes out and says, hey, you might want to wait. Roth conversions are a big deal. You might need some help. You might want to wait to have somebody help you with that. But really the best time to do it is when you're retiring, so you don't go up into, no, that's nonsense. She doesn't understand all the tax strategies. So all this stuff you hear, these things on the news, you have to understand it's mostly for the masses. It's mostly for retail clients, and it's mostly one size fits all. That's not who we are. That's not who we do. So a lot of the stuff that you hear, it doesn't apply to you because most of the people that we serve, the select individuals and families that we serve, they need customized plans, and that's what you guys have. But I always want to throw that out there so people understand that. And look, if you need to come in, you want to revise or something's changed, just call and let us know. We're here. We're here to help. We want to make sure you guys are comfortable with your plan and that it's meeting all of your needs. So if you've got any questions, reach out, get on the calendar, let us know. I want to hear from you guys. It was incredible seeing so many people at our event last night. Like I said, it was our biggest happy hour event that we've had, and we've had some pretty big ones here in the past couple of years. So congrats to all the people that came out, got some great information. Without further ado, I'm going to jump into the birthday list because we got a pretty big one here. So you guys can get off and take off and get ready to go for your weekend. So here we go. Megan R., Heather B., Leanne L., John P., Ben W., Bill A., Scott W., Kevin Scott, Steve D., Stephanie L., Lori S., Bill P., Courtney H.D., Jeff B., Sandra M., Yvette A., Pete W., Lee S. We got a lot of them this week. Diane D., Carolyn H.P., Marcia T., Anthony D., Christy B., Kathy M., and today we've got four birthdays: Karen G., Alida B., Beth F., and Keith S. I'm struggling today, guys. Hang with me. And tomorrow we got four more: Barbie S., Michael R., Greg C., and Claire M. I hope you all have an incredible birthday and a birthday week. Until next week, guys, God bless and take care. Make it a great day. Bye-bye.